This guy is pretty much the love child of Kraven the Hunter and Michael Morbius. Hi guys, welcome to Hydra Collectables, where we let our geek flag fly. My name's Luke and I'm your host, and today we're going to be discussing a very unique character within the world of the multiverse. Today we're talking Morlun. Okay, so before we continue, just one thing out of the way. I don't know if I am mispronouncing this name. I am saying Morlun, not Mulan. So yeah, let's not get those two confused because that'll make for a really weird video. When you are handed the keys to your favourite character and given full reign to write what you want, you create new villains by simply mashing two successful foes together. Just take a look at the Red Goblin, a combo of the Green Goblin and the Carnage symbiote. Well, Morlun is no different. This guy is pretty much the love child of Kraven the Hunter and Michael Morbius. So a few days ago I created this video up here, and within this video I mentioned a character who feeds upon the animal totems such as Spider-Man. I am of course talking about Morlun. So why am I talking about Morlun? Of all the Spider-Man villains, he's probably one of the least well known. Well, the reason I'm mentioning him now is because of the multiverse. You see, Morlun and his family, the Inheritors, are a group of energy-draining vampires that hunt the multiverse looking for totems. Totems, if you guys remember from the previous video, are bridges between animal and man, with powers and abilities of both. And Morlun and his kind feed upon these beings, gaining in strength across multiple worlds and universes. This character of Morlun first appears in Amazing Spiderman Volume 2, issue number 30 back in 2001. I know, right? It gets really confusing with these Spider-Man issue numbers. You see, at the time, Amazing Spider-Man had moved on to Volume 2 after reaching issue 441 in 1998. And if you want to know more about this confusing numbering system, I will link this video down below. In this story, Peter meets a man named Ezekiel, who reveals to him the history of their kind. Totems. Ezekiel warns Peter of Morlun, with the only advice being to run and hide. We then proceed to witness Peter being hunted by the ever-persistent and powerful Morlun over the next few issues of this series, before finally coming head-to-head for their first showdown. During this first battle, Morlun takes down Peter with ease, but is fortunately disrupted before he can finish him off, very much leaving Peter at death's door and in dire need of a new plan. Using samples of Morlun's blood, Peter learns that his greatest strength against this godlike being is his radiation, given to him by the spider that bit him all those years ago. He doses himself up with severe levels of radiation and sets out to combat Morlun once more. As with the previous fight, it doesn't take long for Morlun to get the upper hand, but as he feeds upon Peter, his body is destroyed by the radiation coursing through his blood. This fight then leads us to one of the greatest, most powerful moments in Spider-Man history, with Aunt May learning the truth about her nephew. And I will interject here, I will stop and mention that this is something that the movies have really fallen flat with. These levels of depth that we see within comic books, not just for Spider-Man but for many others, have just been replaced by jokes and funniness. And yeah, okay, I get that Disney want to remain lighthearted and primarily make these family films, but this level of depth that we get from these comics, especially this scene right here with Aunt May, I just wish that we could have seen that rather than have her walking in and just kind of going, what the, and cutting to the credits. That's not good enough for me. So anyway, that aside, let's get back to the video. So that's it, right? 5 issues of a self-contained story, Morlun is dead, time to move on. Right? Nope. He comes back. Later in the run, we learn that Morlun is back and more dangerous than ever. You see, him and his kind are able to re-upload their consciousness into new bodies when they die. Yep, we're talking cloning. Again. But clones aside, this actually leads to one of the best Spider-Man events of all time. We are of course talking the Spider-Verse. So as you guys know, I'm not really a speculation channel. I don't like giving that sort of advice, so please don't take it that way. Don't rush out to buy all these books thinking you're going to make a profit. However, I will say this. Do we think that Morlun is going to make an appearance within the movie's universe, whether it be the MCU or Sonyverse? I would say it was a pretty fair bet. With the MCU and No Way Home heavily leaning into the multiverse and potentially giving us multiple Spider-Men, I could see it happening. Or maybe he will make an appearance in the next Miles Morales animated movie. Who knows? And let's not forget that Hasbro have actually given us a Morlun action figure within their Marvel Legends range just this year. And so, I would say the evidence seems to prove heavily in the favour that this could be a thing. So earlier in the video I mentioned that Morlun was kind of the love child between Kraven the Hunter and Michael Morbius. And I want to kind of dabble with that Michael Morbius side of it because this character is a form of vampire. And what's actually funny is that he does heavily resemble Michael Morbius, not so much from the comics, but from that 1994 animated Spider-Man series. Because Morlun actually feeds through his hands with these weird little energy draining sucker things on the palm. Sticking with vampires, I would also like to mention maybe Morlun is one of the oldest, most powerful vampires. What if they do away with the whole subspecies thing? You know, forget the fact that he is primarily going for these totems. What if he is just a really old vampire? And what if he's a vampire that has since gone by many other names? Maybe he is Dracula. Maybe he is these other creatures that are well known within the universe. You know, he's lived for so long, he's gone by many other names. I think that could really work and could really open other opportunities within other MCU based shows such as Moon Knight and Blade. I believe, at least, this would make a lot of sense as to why he favours something a bit more tasteful, how he would go for these supernatural spider-like beings or these totems, rather than just sucking on human blood. After all, we all know from those classic Hammer horrors that virgin blood is the best, and so totem blood must be far superior. So what do you guys think? Do you think we're going to see Morlun anytime soon? Will he make his debut in the live action MCU universe, or will we see him in the animated Miles Morales universe by Sony? Let me know down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, poke it right in its little eye, and why not check out this video up here for some more Spider-Man content. And until next time, I'll see you in another life. Take care.